Who was Martin Luther King, and why does his name echo throughout the annals of history? Let's take it back to the start, to a winter day on January 15, 1929, in the heart of Atlanta, Georgia. On this day, a boy was born into the King family, a boy who would grow to become a beacon of hope and change. His name was Martin Luther King Jr. Born to Alberta and Martin Luther King Sr., he was welcomed into a world that was deeply divided. The societal conditions of his time were marked by segregation, a system that divided people based on their skin color. Despite these challenges, the King family provided a nurturing environment for young Martin, instilling in him the values of faith, love, and a strong sense of justice. Born in a world of segregation, from these humble beginnings, a future leader was born. This was the birth of a legend, and his story had just begun. The seeds of greatness are often sown in the fertile grounds of education. Martin Luther King Jr.'s journey into academia marked the beginning of his path to leadership. A bright student from the start, he graduated high school at the tender age of 15. His thirst for knowledge led him to Morehouse College, where he was exposed to the teachings of civil rights advocates, stirring a deep passion within him for social justice. King's academic journey didn't end there. He went on to study sociology at Crozer Theological Seminary, where he was elected student body president and graduated as valedictorian. His studies in sociology enabled him to perceive societal issues from a scholarly perspective, fostering his understanding of the intricate dynamics of social inequality. His pursuit of knowledge further led him to Boston University, where he delved into theology. Here he was profoundly influenced by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi on nonviolent resistance. This understanding of peaceful protest would later become the cornerstone of his approach to civil rights activism. Parallel to his academic pursuits, King also followed his spiritual calling. He was ordained as a minister before his graduation from college, and it was in his role as a minister that he began to truly understand the depth of racial injustice. A brilliant student, a committed minister, King was poised to make a profound impact on society. In the face of injustice, some remain silent, others, like Martin Luther King, rise to the challenge. With a heart full of passion and a mind brimming with determination, King became a pivotal figure in the civil rights movement. In 1955, he took on a significant role in the Montgomery bus boycott, a peaceful protest against racial segregation on public transportation in Montgomery, Alabama. The boycott lasted for over a year, and King's leadership was instrumental in its success. He rallied the African American community, encouraging them to stand firm in their demand for equal treatment. King's leadership in the boycott didn't just impact Montgomery's buses, it set the stage for a nationwide movement, a powerful call to action that echoed across the United States. And at the heart of this movement was King, a leader who believed in the power of peaceful protest. His philosophy of nonviolence was inspired by the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. King believed that violence would only perpetuate the cycle of hatred and fear, but nonviolent resistance could break it. This philosophy was not only about refraining from physical violence, it was also about confronting hatred with love, standing up to prejudice with understanding, and countering injustice with steadfast resolve. In 1957, King took another significant step in the fight for civil rights. He helped found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC, an organization committed to achieving full equality for African Americans through nonviolent protest. As the first president of the SCLC, King worked tirelessly to promote its mission, organizing protests and giving powerful speeches that inspired millions. King's leadership in the civil rights movement was more than a series of protests and speeches. It was a beacon of hope in a storm of inequality. He showed that change was possible, that injustice could be challenged, and that a better future was within reach. Through peaceful protest, King emerged as a beacon of hope in a storm of inequality. His life and legacy continue to inspire us, reminding us that we all have a role to play in the fight for equality. Dreams have the power to change the world, and Martin Luther King had a dream. In the scorching heat of August 28, 1963, King stood on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and delivered a speech that would echo through time. His words painted a picture of his dream, a dream steeped in the American dream, yet beyond it. A dream where his children would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by their character. He spoke of a nation where freedom would ring from every mountainside, where the sweltering heat of injustice would be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. His dream was of a world where all people, regardless of their race or religion, would hold hands and proclaim in unity, "Free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last." The potency of his words, the fervor of his delivery, and the truth of his message made an impact that reverberated far beyond the crowds gathered that day. It was a catalyst that led to the passing of the Civil Rights Act, a landmark legislation that outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. But dreams of such magnitude often meet resistance, and Martin Luther King was no exception. On a fateful day, April 4, 1968, King was assassinated. A single bullet ended the life of a man who had dared to dream of a world where equality and justice were not just ideals, but a lived reality. His life was cut short, but Martin Luther King's dream continues to inspire millions around the globe. From classrooms to boardrooms, from the streets of Atlanta to the halls of the United Nations, his dream lives on. It is a testament to the power of dreams, the power of words, and the power of a single man's unwavering belief in the potential for change. The dream of Martin Luther King is not just a part of history, it is a beacon for the future, a call to action, a challenge to each of us to carry forward the torch of justice and equality. His life was cut short, but Martin Luther King's dream continues to inspire millions around the globe. Greatness is not measured by the length of one's life but by the impact of their actions. Martin Luther King's life, though cut short, left an indelible mark on the world. His tireless fight for equality, his eloquent speeches, and his steadfast belief in nonviolent resistance have inspired countless civil rights movements since. Posthumously awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom and a Congressional Gold Medal, King's legacy is a testament to the power of peaceful protest. Martin Luther King, a man of faith, a man of peace, a man whose legacy continues to shape the world.